Alright guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been catching my fish on here recently, or getting bit. Uh, there's not really much I've been catching on here recently at Gunnersville, but there's been a couple of things that I've been using that I think is really key. Uh, let's see, the thing I really like is these zoom lean flukes and ghost shad. I like them really well. Also like mooch minnow. If I can get the color. Mooch minnow and albino shad and Tennessee shad. I also use perch when it's real hot. Uh, this one is another one. It's got a really bad garlic scent to it. I don't like it, but the fish seem to like it. It's Biz Baits, the Manor, and Tennessee shad. It's a really good Manor. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the setup I use here. I use a 1/8 ounce XPS Bass Pro Shops jig head with a loop knot, and then I use this little bait right here. Let's see, I got it right here. Speed Mango Ghost Shad. Speed Mango Ghost Shad. Let's see if we can get this out. That's what this is like. Put that back in the pack. It's by XPS Bass Pro Shots brand 2. Speed Mango. I've been crushing them on that. I went the other day and caught 8 fish on there, and my biggest fish was 8 pounds. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about my line. I use this reel right here is a Daiwa Strike Force. It's a crappie reel, but I use it a pretty good bit. And then this is an Ozark Trail medium white rod that I use. It's usually pretty good. I got like 15-pound braid to a 4-pound strand legger. Sometimes I use 8 to 12 depending on the diameter of line. It really makes a difference on what the size diameter is that you put on your rod. But I use that. Another thing I will use, I got my box right here. I wanted to talk a little bit about mount heads I use too. Sometimes I'll use these little Demiki heads right here. I don't know what brand they are, but that's the 1/8 ounce jig head right there that I use. And then what I'm beginning to like really well is these, let's see, they're by VMC. They're made out of jig head. This is in 1/4 ounce. Also, though, this right here, the 1/8 ounce. And then, let's see. Strike King's also got a good one that I like to use. It's got a 2-pronged approach to hold your bait if it'll ever focus. 2-pronged thing to hold your bait real good. And then I also use 44's Outdoors tungsten jig head. I use those. And then I'll use this. It's by Katek. They make this head. It's a tungsten jig head. They say it's a 3.5 ounce, which is in 1/8 ounce really. Is what it has on it as well. 3.5 ounces, but it also has 1/8 ounce. So it's basically a 1 ounce jig head. 1/8 ounce jig head. Excuse me. And let's see. Another little swim bait I like to use when they're on throw fin real good is the gambler baits. I think it's called the little spank. I think is what it's called. I forget the actual name of it. I put everything in boxes, so I don't know the actual name of everything really, except those few I had out. I'll also use the sway minnow by Ducket. That's another good one. And let's see. I also use, I think it's either called the flatworm or flat shad by Netbait. It's a good one too. I usually get like that horizontal. That way it will rock back and forth. Let's see here. Also use the Rapala freeloader and Gidger's Chad. That's a real big player that I tend to use. Now, let's see. Well, I tend to be on Sylvania Lake in the Cab County in Sylvania. It's called the Cab County Lake, but I call it Sylvania Lake because it's in Sylvania. What I'll tend to use there is more smaller baits. I don't know what this one is called and what the brand is, but it's usually pretty good too. It's got a real good fork tail on it. It's really made for crappie. I think it's made by Bass Assassin. I might be wrong, but it's usually pretty good. Then I've also beginning to use the Cast Echo. I think it's called albino shad. I usually take the rattle out of it and use it like that. And let's see here. What else can I talk about? Let's see. I'm also beginning to use these a lot, and I'll start to use these when bass are starting to be much shallow. You know, on the beds and water temps in the mid 50s to 60s, maybe low 70s, and I'll dive the tail chartreuse, and I'll throw this around bass beds, and I'll also throw it on a just regular straight shank hook. Depending on what size it is what size hook I'll use. For this size, I'll usually use about a 2 to 4/0 hook. It's usually pretty good, but if I use the bigger sizes, like these, because I ain't got no bigger green pumpkin size right now, got a little bit bigger size than those, I'll use probably like a 5 or 6/0 hook, straight shank. Usually Eagle Claw is really good hook brand that I use. I feel like it doesn't matter the real good bait hook companies that you use. I'll also use. I got what? I got tons and tons of mooch minnows that I use. And let's see. As you can tell, I got like bunches of minnows and swim baits and stuff that I use. Zoom William Flukes. This one is by a new bait company that came out. I don't know the name of it exactly, but they're real good. I got a bunch of sway minnows. I got a bunch of little dippers. I got a bunch of the mayors by Crush City. But I got a bunch of stuff. Green swim baits. I just got all my stuff organized here, and like I said, I'll use some heads like that. I gotta get some more, but a bunch of that's 544 Outdoors. That shake and jig head they got. It's just like $4.99 for it. You can go pick those up at Waterfront or any GTO store, and then I'll use. Let's see, that's the Crush City I already talked about. This right here, I'm beginning to use a whole lot more. Haven't used it really that much, but really see if I can. That's that Gary Yamamoto's little poop bait that came out with. It's pretty fire around beds because it just looks like a little bluegill, and that little tail goes nuts in a bag on an egg rig. I mean, it's phenomenal. But I can use that too. Also, let's see here. Let me get my other box open again. Okay, here is my other box. I got some more heads in here. I use that hybrid swim bait jig head a lot. I'll also use this one. It's 5MC. I don't know what it's actually called by name, but I use, let's see, I ain't got any more swim bait heads in here, but yeah, that's mostly what I've been using here recently since it's been cold. But I just wanted to tell y'all guys a little bit about what I've been using, everything, and just get y'all a little more into what I've been using. Also, I also got this rod signed by Dustin Cornell. I don't know if it'll show up real well. It's kind of wore off. But I got that rod signed by Dustin Cornell. I just used a little white marker, but he used a little white marker like I gave him, and he signed it. But yeah. Okay. That's a little bit what I've been using. I just figured I'd tell y'all guys about it. Y'all have a great evening. More videos coming at you.